NHL 2K8 marked a pivotal moment in the evolution of hockey video games, delivering a bold shift in mechanics, presentation, and player control that attempted to redefine what fans expected from a virtual NHL experience. Developed by Kush Games and Visual Concepts and published by 2K Sports, this 2007 release for PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360 continued the legacy of the NHL 2K series, bringing forward a more simulation-heavy approach at a time when its primary competitor, EA Sports' NHL franchise, was also pushing boundaries. NHL 2K8 arrived during a transitional period in sports gaming, with developers trying to balance next-gen hardware capabilities with the expectations of increasingly savvy fans. For this title, 2K set its sights on creating the most detailed and mechanically rich hockey experience yet, even if that meant introducing features with steep learning curves. The first thing that stood out in NHL 2K8 was the control overhaul. Central to this was the Pro Stick system, which utilized the right analog stick in a more complex, nuanced way than previous entries. Unlike the simpler control schemes of older titles, where button mashing could often get the job done, NHL 2K8's Pro Stick demanded finesse. Players used the stick for puck handling, deking, and taking faceoffs, bringing a level of precision and strategy that mirrored the dexterity required in real hockey. The faceoff system was no longer a matter of timing a single button press. Instead, players had to choose grips, angle their sticks, and react dynamically to win the puck drop. This added a layer of psychological warfare and tactical preparation to what had previously been a routine play, helping transform faceoffs into crucial, momentum-defining moments. Complementing the Pro Stick was the Superstar Combo Moves feature, a mechanic designed to bridge the gap between accessibility and authenticity. With a button press, players could unleash signature moves modeled after real NHL stars. Think Pavel Datsyuk's silky hands or Sidney Crosby's tight spin moves. These combos allowed less experienced players to enjoy highlight reel plays without fully mastering the Pro Stick controls, while still encouraging deeper mastery for those who wanted to manually recreate the same effects. The inclusion of these animations brought NHL 2K8 closer to the spectacle of real-life NHL broadcasts, adding flair to the fundamental grit of simulation hockey. Another standout element was the revamp of the goaltending system. Historically a weak point in many hockey games, goalies in NHL 2K8 benefited from newly designed animations, smarter AI routines, and a wider range of movement. The developers aimed to close the realism gap by ensuring netminders reacted more naturally to shot angles, deflections, and breakaways. This system, when paired with the Pro Stick shooting mechanics, led to some truly memorable scoring plays, or crushing saves. Players who had grown used to easily exploitable goalies in past entries found themselves forced to approach offensive play with more creativity and foresight. Graphically, NHL 2K8 pushed the limits of the 7th generation of consoles. While not always matching the flash of EA's Frostbite or later Ignite engines, 2K's visuals were immersive in their own right. Player models were highly detailed, stadiums captured the unique atmosphere of real NHL arenas, and small touches like uniform physics, ice reflection, and board scuffs elevated the realism. Perhaps most notably, NHL 2K8 incorporated the Reebok Edge uniforms, which had just been adopted by the NHL in the real world for the 2007-08 season. Players could unlock these new looks using a code from the 2K Sports website, a clever tie-in that merged real-time league developments with in-game content, further enhancing immersion and relevance. From an auditory perspective, NHL 2K8 was a full sensory experience. The play-by-play team of Bob Cole and Harry Neal returned, delivering commentary that, while sometimes criticized for being repetitive, still brought a sense of authenticity and familiarity to longtime fans of the series. The in-game sounds, from the crunch of checks to the slap of stick on puck, were finely tuned to deliver an atmospheric broadcast-style presentation. The soundtrack was also a highlight, featuring 16 rock tracks from bands like Priestess, Comeback Kid, and Stellastar. This gave the menus and pre-game screens a gritty, aggressive energy, matching the on-ice chaos and drama of NHL gameplay. The game modes added further depth. Franchise mode allowed players to manage rosters, scout talent, oversee player development, and make high-level decisions about trades and contracts. It was a simulation within a simulation, offering depth for those who loved the general manager aspect of sports games. For more casual gamers or fans looking to jump right into the action, quick play and season modes offered a faster track to the ice. Online functionality, while rudimentary by today's standards, was still a key feature, letting players test their skills against the world. Unfortunately, server support would eventually disappear, leaving only local play and AI matchups, but during its heyday, NHL 2K8's online scene was a battleground of skill, strategy, and trash talk. Reception to NHL 2K8 was mixed to positive, with praise often directed at the ambition of its control schemes and its simulation-first approach. However, some players found the learning curve daunting, particularly in contrast to EA's NHL 08, which struck a more balanced tone between accessibility and depth. Critics acknowledged that 2K8 demanded patience and practice, but also noted that once those systems were mastered, the payoff was immense. It was a game for purists, a love letter to those who craved the strategic nuance of real hockey, even if that came at the cost of a steeper onboarding process. In hindsight, NHL 2K8 stands as a bold experiment, one that reflected 2K's commitment to innovation over stagnation. The game set the stage for further refinements in NHL 2K9 and beyond, but also marked the beginning of the end for 2K's presence in hockey altogether. While EA's NHL series would go on to dominate the market, NHL 2K8 still holds a special place in the hearts of fans who appreciated its complex mechanics, respect for the sport, and the relentless pursuit of authenticity. Today, NHL 2K8 is remembered not just as a solid entry in the series, but as a symbol of a different era of sports gaming. One where innovation was prioritized, risks were taken, and gameplay mechanics were designed not for the faint of heart but for those who wanted to earn their victories. Whether you're revisiting it for nostalgia or discovering it for the first time, NHL 2K8 remains a unique and rewarding hockey simulation that dared to do